Breaking news! An unanticipated situation occurred that might have a market impact or might even be perceived as a potential human safety issue. It also may require responsible communication to relevant internal and external stakeholders. What makes the issue challenging is that we experience volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. You may have heard of this as VUCA. Most people react to this emotionally driven and freeze, flight, or fight. As issue management, it is our responsibility to gain clarity in such complex situations. Our first task is to be aware of ourselves and the effects of our own feelings and the biases we may have. Only then we strive for awareness and clarity of others around us and the issue itself. We refer to this as the issue management force field. We are constantly acting in this triangle. Chris, can you tell us why we even learn more things than just that?
I think it is important because we have got increasing numbers of issues over time, and they are not getting easier, they're getting more complex and more difficult, more players on the table. It is not about white and black, you have got all shades of gray in there too. That's number one, and we should be very organized around that.
Once in a while we support in other areas or facilitate in other areas, but if we don't manage the teams and the activities that are related to safety issues or perceived issues that are out in the public, so who would do it then?
Thank you, Chris and Mai. What do you say, Alex and Declan?
Yeah, so issue management is about achieving clarity in complex situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what we need to do ultimately.
Right.
And we do that by getting an awareness and an understanding about ourselves, because we as people react in certain ways in these issue situations, but then also the others, the people that we're dealing with in the team, but then also on the outside. And most importantly, I think, or also very importantly, the context that we're operating in. So what are the facts? What is really happening on the outside? What's the situation that we need to deal with to ideally resolve the issue as quickly as possible?
Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much what it's about. But Declan, issues are of course quite challenging, right?
Yeah,
they
are.
can be, the pulse goes up and so forth. So why are they so challenging in your mind?
Right. Well, I have to say, I find one of the greatest challenges with issues is they always drop on your desk about 5 o'clock on a Friday evening, and it's even better if it's a bank holiday Friday evening, and it kind of gets the heart rate running. You're never quite too sure, who's in the office, who's around, who do we need to catch up with. So it's the unexpected nature of issues that can be difficult. And, that leads to, getting a team together of people who are usually under a little bit of stress. And let's say that doesn't bring out the best in some people sometimes. And so as an issue manager, you really have to not just manage yourself, but you also have to manage those people around you too as well.
Thank you, guys. Especially in unexpected situations and encounters, preparation is key. We just found out they are here to take part in issue management. Welcome! Do you want to know how issue management came into being? Oh, what's this? That looks neat. In the beginning, we started by defining roles and responsibilities and to developing a process. After that, we had an intense rollout of the IM process in global brand teams and countries. To better ourselves, we created tools and templates, especially for report issues. As we gained experience in handling upcoming issues, our local issue management team started growing. Oh, what's this? In 2016, we even launched the Mission Impossible workout series, which keeps the issue management team on their toes. Two years later, we started developing more tools, like the Systematic Thinking Toolkit, to level up and handle more complex situations. To increase our ability to resolve complex situations, we updated our skill arsenal with more skill sets, language and behavior profiles, attentiveness, active listening, calibrated questions, and mirroring and labeling. Issue management equips the teams to manage issues with the patient's safety in mind. A clear process, defined roles and responsibilities, and the right tools are the basis for the resolution. Oh, here, this will help you. To be as prepared as we possibly can be, we continuously train and refresh our knowledge. You can learn everything about it from this handy book. I guess that your reason coming to Earth is similar to our steps of the I am process? An accident brought them to Earth after an asteroid hit their planet. They realized that they could no longer live on it and decided to move to Earth on the fragments. Everyone was assigned a specific task to reach their goal, so they were able to implement the plan successfully. Now they are debriefing on how such an issue can be avoided in the future. Good job! Chris, can you tell us why these steps are important when solving issues?
Why does issue management come up with an academy running courses in psychology, human behavior, communications, in problem solving and strategic thinking? That's because Homo sapiens is an impulse-driven animal. And it's hardwired towards emotional reactions. In order to overcome those impulses, we first have to get an understanding of the structure and the system, that produces them. So we have to get a meta level of understanding to be able to hack these hardwired responses. It is like Albert Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem with the same consciousness that created it. And this is basically what these human behavior courses are about. In order to understand a given situation, the most important thing that we have to understand is our fellow humans. So what we have is three approaches towards that. Number one is a very logical approach. Basically, we are learning how to listen to people in a very different way. It is not just, listening to what they say, but also to how they say it, and from there to build a reference system that helps us to be much more effective in the onwards communication. And the second of these techniques that is also a course is about empathy. It is about an emotional approach. It is basically empathy mapping. It gives you the chance to feel what the other person is feeling and to be in their shoes, at least for a moment. But of course, there are also third parties that we never meet personally. Institutions or agencies that we never get into a personal face-to-face contact with, or at least not in the first phase of the situation that we are in. So for this we developed the LIFT booklet, which is a tool set that helps us understanding the motivations of an agency or of an unknown entity and to probably project their course of action. All of these courses together will give you a new and different understanding of situations, and this understanding will help you to be ultimately more efficient in pursuing your goals.
Hey, we're not done. You haven't seen our I Am treehouse. And the kitchen is where we keep all the useful and fun stuff. Today, you can have an exclusive glance inside. Welcome inside the I Am kitchen. Over here on the mind map, you can see our team. Yes, this is the structure of our team with each of their tasks. Here in our beautiful library, We keep all the tools and templates as well as explanatory materials that are used by our global community. Speaking of the global community, we have local issue managers and deputy issue managers all over the world, and they lead local issue teams. This is how they are structured. Thank you all for watching, and now off to the party. If you have any further questions on issue management, please reach out to us.